Well, we're back. Today we're going to install this rear axle underneath this truck. I've got it together, got all the brakes installed. I am going to have to purchase a new drum. This one I tried to repair and it warped it when I tried to weld it, and anyway, it was pretty beat up in the hub part of it anyway, but we're going to get a new one, but it's on there just for now. And yeah, I'm going to have to put some oil, I just thought of that, into the back end first. It'll be easier to do than crawling underneath it and trying. So we'll do that, and then we're going to take the jack here, put it underneath here, and try to lift with that hand and pull with the jack and get it around, and then slide it down underneath. And then I'll have to pick up the drive shaft like I used to have it before. I had it supported with a rope and keep it up in the air. But anyway, we'll get that in today, hopefully. I don't have a lot of time to mess, but show you what the front end looks like. I have not got the tie rod completed that goes from both sides to tie both sides together, but the drums are on, and everything rolls nice and smoothly, nothing rubs. This side here, yep, same thing. Just a slight bit of rub, but it's not that bad. Boy, these kingpins are nice. So, but anyway, that all went together pretty good, and figured out what this piece here was for and how it installed. I had to go back and look at a whole bunch of pictures. But yeah, I don't think you've seen the axle. Oh yeah, I did. I think I showed that. But anyway, it's installed. So the steering box, and that is going to be going in this hole right here. So we'll get to that in a little while. So anyway, let me get some oil in that rear end, and then I'll try to film me putting that thing in there. Well, here we are another day. I don't know how many days ago it's been since I took that last video, but you can see I made a little progress. The front end is on, obviously, and I got the shocks on, and I've got everything mounted, wheels and all, and I even got the steering post mounted. So show you, I don't have this mounted 100% on there. I got to change this around. This goes on the other side, but it steers. See that? Look at that. First time in 9 years it's actually steered. So we are going to slide this rear axle underneath the back of this truck. So we'll try to get that underneath there, and I'll bring you back when we get it in place. Well, this is the next day. I ran out of time. So we got the rear axle in place. I had to purchase another drum. I'm not happy with it. I mean, it fits like a glove, but it just is not like the original. There's a lot of gap between in here. I'll show you the other side. But yeah, you just can't see how this has got the ribs on it. You can see how it fits up tight up against the inside of that backer plate. But it works. Not happy, but there's a lot of things that is going on right now that I'm not happy with. This is a problem when you buy parts off of eBay and they're aftermarket. You know, they were new old stock aftermarket parts back in the day, and they are not accurate, just like a lot of aftermarket parts today are not accurate. But we're going to make them work. For example, this shackle setup here. These are the new shackles, and they're quite a bit longer. I'll show you the old ones, because I am going to put the old ones back in place, because I'll tell you in a little bit. There you can see kind of the difference between the lengths. Yeah, they're a little bit longer, which is not a big issue. It would make the rear end sit up a little bit higher. But the issue comes is you've got 4 of these, 2 here, which match. And then you have these 2 that don't match. Look at this. This is called aftermarket junk. See how that bulged that out? Well, that hole, I drilled it so it's a little bit egg-shaped right now, oval. But I could not, it's shorter, the diameter between holes is shorter than the other one. Not much, but enough that you got to twist the spring. You have to take the spring and you have to twist it in order to get it up in there. So it's just temporary because I wanted to get the axle mounted. But yeah, I'm going to clean up all the old ones, and we're going to use the old ones instead of the new ones. And it just, that frustrates me. You know, and of course I purchased these parts years ago, but you can't do anything about it now. You just eat it. But that's what happens when you deal with aftermarket parts. But finding new old stock in 1936 is difficult to do. But anyway, I found a drum from a manufacturer, and it's not really, I mean, it works, obviously. Everything mounts up properly. I mean, the hole in the center, and I've got these holes for, I haven't checked that yet. Well, those don't look like they're going to match either, because there's a hole, there's a bolt or a screw that's supposed to go up in there. You can see the hole right there. They don't match. So again, unless I can move that around, there's several holes there. Maybe I can get these 2 to line up. I haven't tried yet. But the other frustrating part was these emergency brake cables. They, you know, supposedly when I bought them, they were for a 1936 Chevy Pickup. And, you know, they're nice and everything. But do you see where they mount here? This end is supposed to slide through there. It's not going to reach. It's about 2 inches too short. And actually the cable itself is probably about 3 to 3.5 inches too short. And that sucks, because I will have to remove these brackets. And I will probably fabricate something here to mount the bracket to, so that I can hang this emergency brake cable, put it through there. That torqued me off yesterday too. So yesterday was not a good day. That's why I did not continue filming. But today we come out and we got everything up in place. I decided to go ahead and we'll fasten these to the spring. I'll replace those shackles as I get the old ones cleaned up. I did get the axle positioned properly. I didn't know exactly how to do that. But what I did is I took a measurement from the inside of this axle, and I took it up to the center of this. This is your front spring holder, or whatever you call it. And it was 91 inches, and both sides are identical. So that means your back axle is in line with, well, hopefully with the front axle. I should measure the front axle back is what I should do to make sure that that's proper. I'm pretty sure it is, but I'll definitely take a look at that. But anyway, we've got everything together. It's coming together, I should say. I got the front brake line on, crossover line. I got both of the flexible lines on. I got the front shocks hooked up. I got these all cleaned up, painted, and filled. This is on backwards. This has got to go on the inside of here. So, but I have not pressed this on yet. That was kind of in a quandary. But anyway, everything is looking good. And look at that. It even moves. Yeah, I've got it up in the air right now. I've got these dollies I bought to set the whole truck on, but it's still on jack stands, you can see. So they will come down. But anyway, that's what we got going right there. We're pretty much done. This is the new project. Transmission. I took it out this morning, sprayed it down with some gunk engine cleaner, and pressure washed it. And I tell you, that old grease has been caked on there for many years. Did not come off with just cold water pressure wash. If I had a hot water pressure washer, that would have stripped it right down to the metal. But that actually protected it. When you think about it, all that grease that's on there, you know, you can see how it's starting to flash rust already, just from this morning. And if that wouldn't have been covered with grease, that thing would be a rusty mess. But anyway, we're going to dive into that, and we move the engine to the back. So the engine will be, I'll be tinkering with that as I take little breaks from this, and I ended up cleaning up all the push rods, and we got all the lifters cleaned up, and they are ready to go. So we're going to put all those in place. We'll put a bunch of this, I'm thinking putting this stuff on it, assembly lube on everything as I install it. But it's interesting. Now from what I understand, most of the modern engine, because it's a pressurized oil system, have holes in their push rods. Because oil, they're hollow, and the oil goes up through them and then comes out the top. Well, this is not a pressurized system. It's a dipper system that just flops around. There's dippers on the bottom of the rods that pick up the oil and oil the inside. There is an oil pump in there, but it really doesn't pressurize the system. And so I started looking at the ends of these, and I said, well, there's no hole in them. And then I realized that this is not a pressurized system. I don't know if you can see that or not. It looks like there's a hole here, which there is, but it's not a hole. I stuck a wire down in there and it's nothing. So, but anyway, that's the way it works, I guess. And so we'll go with that, unless some of you viewers out there have other suggestions, or maybe they are supposed to be hollow, I don't know. But yeah, the other issue is these stupid little cork. When the cork gets old, it gets brittle. And you know, I soak these things in some oil, trying to loosen them up, and these are actually, they slide over your yeah, this thing. They're supposed to go down in there, in that groove, in your shackles, and it keeps the grease from wanting to come out. Well, anyway, every time I pushed one on prior to putting this outside plate on, they just split. So that irritated me yesterday too. Like I said, yesterday was not a good day. So what I did, or what I'm going to do, is I'll show you I was thinking, what can I use to replace those? I want something rubber. So I came up, these are faucet washers. Now this has got too big of a hole. Obviously the center hole is different, but I'm going to go up to the hardware store and look for some of these faucet washers that are very similar to this, and hopefully I can find something with a hole about that diameter, about 9/16 of a diameter. Now the outside on these is just about perfect. And, yeah, that inside hole just doesn't get it. So anyway, that will work. I just got to find it. So that's all we got for now. Yeah, it's getting close to winter, so I got the sled in here. Got to clean it up. I just sold my other one, my Indy Trail. I had it in the trailer there, pulled it out yesterday, brought it in. A guy comes today at noon and he purchased it. So I'm down to 3 sleds. I've got one there, and I've got one up there behind the truck cab, if you kind of see it, and this one. So this is my rider. That's an 81 Scorpion, and that's a 73 Columbia. That was the first sled I ever owned. But anyway, I've got to, and that needs totally refurbished, but that's another project for another day. But I'm going to clean this up, throw some wax on it. I've already gone through a lot of stuff when I brought it back last year from Michigan. So yeah, we'll do some more looking on that and getting it cleaned up, ready to go. We're supposed to get some snow here come next week. We'll see. But she's coming along. Sorry for the rambling. I've got to hook the shocks up here. As you can see, the rods are hanging down. I do have the bushings installed in the arms. And so, I don't know if I can show this. I can't do that. But anyway, that's got to connect with, yeah, wherever it's at. There it is. The end. So what I have to do is push this shock down, and it goes down easy till about right there, and then you got to push on it and hold it, and it's like, man, that thing is stiff. It goes, it eventually is moving down, but then I'll get it so far down, and then I'll take that arm and bring it up and put a pin through it like I did with that one right there. Anyway, that's the plan. So, flexible line did fit. I have to clean the hole out because I got paint in it, but that will go in there. So, some of the things are working, but some of them aren't. And I suppose that everybody that does restoration runs into the same problem. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will bring you back when I've got more things accomplished, and we'll see you then. So appreciate everyone watching, and appreciate you if you'd subscribe. It helps out the channel. And but anyway, we'll see you on the next one.